Hello everybody and welcome back to Smiling Dreamer Gaming. Now, as I said in the stream this morning, we're going to pick maybe a different game, but I am going to be doing 3 streams today. We're going to play this game, The Forgotten City, for about 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours depending. Then we're going to have a hard stop, and then we're going to stream Mass Effect again. That will be later on though. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if we're able to get any streams due tomorrow because I've got a night shift, but then Monday I'm not going to be going to sleep after my night shift. I am going to be streaming Skyrim, so we'll be streaming Skyrim on Monday. For now we're going to be doing The Forgotten City. Okay, what's it say? Dear content creators, as you discover this game is full of intrigue and plot twists, please give your audience a spoiler warning. Oh, there you go everybody, a spoiler warning. Oh, hang on just a moment. Right, okay. So, got my drinks ready, and we are ready to start this game. Okay, yeah, so, there for you guys, spoiler, if any of you guys want to watch, if you want to play this game yourselves, there are spoilers in it. Right, new game. The only thing I've heard about this game, a message from the developers, this game was developed by a core team of 3 people over 4 years. Your support allows us to continue doing what we love. Many things I've heard, I don't know how true it is. It's a mystery adventure with multiple endings. It's rewards for compensation expedition over brute force. Yeah, the only thing I've heard, people who made Skyrim mods or something, so I thought, I've been playing Skyrim anyway. It'd be interesting.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change.
Never go into it.
So, wanna tell me who you are?
Kind of like the afterwards. Your body type. It's a female. Is that female? I don't know. Top of the hands. I'll go with that one. Change the skin tone. Player. Okay, obviously we're going to be called Smiling.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
Oh yes, this is going to be cool. Oh, what's this? Okay, first one is for archaeology. She's studying history, give you occasional insight into the ancient world. Soldier, you have a military issue firearm, but only 10 bullets. You'll have to use them judiciously since there's no way to get more. I was on the run from the law, so I'm a fugitive, but this makes us 25% faster when sprinting. Amnesiac, your recent head trauma has increased your pain for 50% harder to take down. Okay, it says it rewards talking more than fighting, so we'll go with, I was searching for ancient ruins.
Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped, or injured, or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him? If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
It's kind of got feeling. That's what I've kind of got at the moment. Mind if I ask some questions first?
Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy, I just... What do you want to know?
What's your story?
Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
You're not even going to tell me your name?
Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
I'd really like to know, especially if I'm going to be helping you.
All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Karen? Oh, no way, this is cool. All those Karen memes have really ruined that name, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, no
something
way.
like that. But right now, I have
Awesome.
bigger problems, like finding Al.
Who?
He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case,
gonna be pretty
you'll like
cool.
him, I'm sure. Once you find
Sure I
him,
will.
that is.
Where are we?
You really don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
I'm in Italy, okay. What can you tell me about the ruins?
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al...
Have you tried calling for help?
What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me.
That's all the questions I had.
Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
I'll pass. Alright, I mean, I'm going in for the priceless artifacts, but I'll keep an eye out for him.
My hero. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Torch. Heavy duty battery powered flashlight. Take item. Oh, wow. I like it. Inspect. I was asleep on this not long ago. It smells of campfire, smoke and sweat. Inspect. An old wooden rowboat. Karen must have used it to rescue me from the river. What's this? Oh, take a camera. Oh, that's how you get the torch.
The ruins are just beyond those columns. Please, hurry. Back already? What's up?
I'll be going
Thanks
now.
again.
I don't
And
think I can ask
please,
any more questions,
hurry.
can I? No, I don't think I can ask any more questions. Can we get down here? What's this? Quid pro quo. I was pulled out of a river by a young woman named Karen. In return for saving my life, she wanted me to find a man named Al who disappeared in some ancient ruins. Inventory. I have a coin and a flashlight. Let me jump. That's how you duck. Jump is circle. Okay. Is that noise? Enter the ruins. Can we go over here? No, I can't go over there just yet. Okay. This is pretty cool. Anything around here? Okay, it's basically forcing me to go in here. Can't do anything else. What's this note?
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth."
What? Oh crap. Didn't even give me a chance. Oh.
You
So
who
we
wish
are.
to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place.
No way.
Could an underground city have remained a secret for
One
all
moment,
this
guys.
time?
One moment.
Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation, or a warning. Al Worth.
Okay, calm down, buddy. Calm down. Okay. Sorry about that. Just had a delivery from Amazon that they didn't actually message me to say they were on the way, which is unusual. Usually they say, oh, I'm on the way, but not these guys. Right. So we gotta go through that doorway. Ew. Statues, pretty cool. Everybody's turned to gold. A young Roman woman in a pose of lamentation. What the heck happened to all these people? Everyone turned to gold. A Roman gladiator mid-stride, what could have made a gladiator flee? Sure, we'll find out soon. Light. What the heck? So we're in the ruins. This is apparently underneath where we've just come from. A young Roman woman who looks like she was begging for her life. I can't interact with all of them, but I can interact with certain ones. What the heck? Where's Al? Al? Are you here, Al? Alan? Alan? Where are you, Alan? A Roman military commander attempting to scramble away from something. A Roman legionary in a state of terror. She's just like those are just like statues though. The heck was that? He looks scared. A Roman woman who appears to be praying for help that never came. Why are you here? I'm looking for Al. Alan, where are you? Alan? Oh my god, is that Alan? A gold man wearing modern clothing. This must be Al, but how is that possible?
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back.
What?
In here, there are only two options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
A young Roman woman in a state of panic. He's killed himself and he's also turned to stone as well. What, a stone gold? Turned to gold. Oh, this is cool. A Roman man on his knees as if begging his God for mercy. The remains of a human, whoever it was, died a long time ago. This way? Okay. Into the portal we go. This reminds me so much of Outer Worlds. Awesome. Hold L2 to sprint. That is one bright light. Step through the doorway into the past. So what's on here? A Roman relief depicting a great circular portal and two women. I wonder who they could be. Figure out on to return to your original time. Okay, well, we've got someone here. Let's speak to this person first.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
Shrine of Proserpina. Wait, are you speaking English? I'm smiling and I got lost.
Oh, is that right? Well, just make sure you don't get lost in any other sacred places you're not supposed to be. Can't have you disrespecting the gods by accident, can we now? But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine.
Your laws?
Not laws, law. There's just one, the Golden Rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
Alright, lead the way.
Follow me. When I first
might as well.
arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now. Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today Drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Can talk to her later. Oh, this is cool. Who's that? Someone's actually turned to gold.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate
Roman.
Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
I'm not going to break the rules yet. What's this about?
I expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today.
Alright, lead the way.
Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. He's up these stairs.
Oh, wow. This is cool.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I lied to him. Oh, I'm smiling.
A curious name, to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of a man of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
I just want to get out of here.
In good time. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure I believe that. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, The builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
The Golden Rule. These questions will be available later. Okay, we'll ask him anyway. What counts as a sin here?
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes, or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea. What is legal isn't always moral, and many of your laws and customs are considered barbaric where I'm from.
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric?
Don't your laws allow slave ownership?
Of course. What else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well.
Don't your people watch blood sports for entertainment?
On occasion. But our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm.
Don't women have fewer rights than men?
Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands.
Don't you persecute Christians?
You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that.
Don't you practice collective punishment?
Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion.
Where I'm from, we consider those things to be abhorrent.
Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
What did you mean when you said Proserpina sent me?
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
It's a lie. Yes, I do.
A pointless lie. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city?
You'd all been turned into golden statues.
I have imagined it. Our downfall 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
How does the ritual work?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal.
Oh God.
In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
I did see human remains in the temple.
I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
I'll do my best.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for.
Why can't you investigate?
Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Fair enough. Do you have any suspects?
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
How do I know you're not the person responsible?
Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you. I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people?
Fair point.
I'm glad you think so. Without trust, without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen.
Come on, tell me what you really think.
Well, all right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you.
If I do this, will you help me get back to my own time?
If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Sure, why not? That's all the questions I had.
Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
Alright, I'm in.
Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them, if it'll win their trust.
This is going to be
I
cool.
authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
Alright, I'll get
And
started.
one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
Get right on it. Oh, this is cool. Point of origin, a golden rule, dying grasp. Okay. I've travelled thousands of years into the past. I need to find a way back to my original timeline. So, Sentius, I've been flung back to my own time. If I can create a paradox, I need to change history in a way that makes my being in the past impossible. For example, Sentius says if I prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, then he'll never create the portal, and it'll be impossible for me to be in the past. Okay, golden rule. Figure out who's most likely to break the golden rule. Inform Sentius. Which one's this? Find out what's this question. Okay, I covered that one first. No, explore first. A small household shrine where ancient Romans offer daily prayers for protection. I'm not stealing. Not yet. Wouldn't that kill me straight away? But it's stealing. Break the golden rule. Read. Scintilla to Sentius, may Jupiter Optimus Maximus continue to protect and guide you. Thank you for making me your daughter and for the lovely birthday pendant. I promise will wear it always. I feel so safe and fortunate to have you as my father and Sentia as my sister. I sense you've been feeling apprehensive about the election next month, but if you can just show them the stronger, dependable man I know you to be, you will be re-elected, I'm sure of it. Okay, we're good down here. Who's this?
Oh, don't mind me. I just live here.
Let's talk to her.
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
What's your story?
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
I'm not from around here.
Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation?
Do you know a way out of here?
Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone.
Can I help?
I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the Harpies?
Your father didn't mention any of this when I spoke to him. Any idea why?
That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock. He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her. So he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done.
Sentia, Scintilla, why are your names all so similar?
You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers. I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market. His family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest, and my little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she is affectionately known as Scintilla.
You look surprisingly relaxed about your sister's disappearance.
Why? Because I'm on this couch and not pacing about the villa, wasting energy? I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
I think you know something you're not telling me. I think you know something you're not telling me.
Ugh, you're awful. Get out of my villa and never speak to me again. Do I need to ask Horatius to escort you out of here? Get out, you horrid barbarian!
I'm not a barbarian. How dare you? Who's he? I'm apologising to her. These carrots are purple as they were before, modern orange. Delighted, okay. Shovel. Our shovel made of bronze, it smells like ash. It's no doubt unpleasant cooking with such poor ventilation, but Romans probably regard that as their servant problem.
Ugh, this place has become a thoroughfare.
What's in here? Vial, small vial containing a rudimentary perfume made from flowers and oil. Bust. Sculpture of Ares, the Greek god of war, known to the Romans as Mars. Brass jar containing some sort of powder. Centia's journal. Dear diary, today my father suggested I write a diary as a way of keeping myself occupied while we all deal with the sudden devastating disappearance of my sister. As a dutiful daughter, of course I shall oblige. The following page contains my innermost secrets. I know you're reading this, father. I may be young, but do not think me stupid. We're all entitled to our secrets, Centia. That's reading mode. Oh, that's cool. Brass has been polished into a rudimentary mirror, which has been used for applying makeup. Centia's chest. Daenerys, we've got to steal off her. That's her bed, though. Ceremonial ink jar. The ink is to be made from soot and water. Brass mirror. More vial. Okay, this is the same as the other one. Centia, there's still got money in there. Centilla is the one that's left. She's disappeared. Got no letter or anything in here. Oh, hang on, there's a note. Centilla to Centius and Centia, may Clementia give you the strength to forgive me. I am sorry to have to leave you this way, but I have found a way to escape and I must take it. I hope we meet again someday. I'll take that. We found another mission for us to do. Find out what happened to her sister. Let's speak to him. Oh, he's there, Centius.
Ah, you've returned. Do you have any news about your investigation?
Anyway, started. Can we talk about what's going... through that one.
Of course. What is it?
That one, yeah. No. I think I know who it is.
Are you sure you've spent enough time investigating to make that call? It
Yeah,
seems to me you've barely had enough time to scratch the surface.
Okay, yeah, we're not doing
Looks
that.
like you'll have to continue your investigation.
So he's not going to let me accuse
Now,
her anyway.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Okay, it wasn't. I was hoping to ask you some questions about my investigation.
Ask then.
Okay, all that.
Good. Now, was there something else you wanted to discuss?
What's your story?
Sextus Sentius Imperiosus is my name, though magistrate is the proper way to address me. Before I wound up here, I was a decurion in the cavalry of Imperial Rome, helping protect civilization from the barbarians.
What's a decurion?
It's a cavalry officer. I had 30 men under my command. This was my uniform.
I love the Roman uniform. Why are you still wearing it?
As magistrate, I usually wear a toga, but today I may need to survive long enough to create the portal for you, so it seemed prudent.
How did you end up here?
My men and I were at the Emporium in Rome as honor guard for a visiting dignitary arriving upriver by barge. Now, the port is usually bustling, but just as our guests arrived, waves of people began running toward the river from streets and alleyways in every direction. They were trying to escape a terrible fire. Unfortunately, the crowd sent my horse into a panic, and I remember it losing its footing by the water's edge. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on a riverbank not far from here in the company of some stranger. I went looking for my horse and discovered that lonely temple. You can probably figure out the rest.
How did you come to be the magistrate?
I was elected 7 months ago, uncontested because of my command experience. Since then, there's been growing agitation for another election. They're supposed to be annual, but I agreed to hold it sooner, hoping it would placate my constituents. Unfortunately, it just seems to have emboldened certain elements instead.
Let's talk about something
Very
else. Do you know a way out of here?
If I did, I'd have led these people out of here already.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I've had plenty of time to think about it. Let me see if I can sum up my thoughts. I've always considered my guiding star to be the well-being of the Roman people. Our survival and prosperity have always hinged upon honoring the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. Give the gods what they want and we all prosper. Dishonor them and we all die. It's as simple as that. The real enemy in this place is not the Golden Rule, but human failings. The temptation to slide into degeneracy, greed, and hubris. I trust that answers your question.
I better get back to it.
Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
Someone wants to guide me. Let me speak to this guard first. It's a gladiator.
What were you two talking about?
Sorry, what?
Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on his balcony. What's he offering you? Money? Favours? What's your vote worth to him?
We weren't talking about the election.
What else would you be murmuring about on election day? Mark my words, Malleolus is going to be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you've sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron. Got it?
I wasn't thinking of interfering, but now I am.
Oh, you just made a big mistake. Malleolus is going to hear all about this, and he'll make you suffer the tortures of Tartarus while you're still alive.
Good luck with that.
Stircum Adite.
What's this?
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
I wasn't, but now I am.
Contrary little cap at murder, aren't you?
Why shouldn't I go down there?
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, a few days later, he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance, I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground. And hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal.
Wouldn't that have broken the golden rule?
If it was a man, maybe. But I swear on my life this was no man. More like a Strix. Or some Versipelus that feeds on human flesh. I didn't stick around to see which.
What did you do?
What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others.
That was a great story, but I'm still going down there.
Without a weapon? Well, it's your funeral.
Can't get a weapon, can I? Let's go and explore. Says I can do it any way I want, so I can always come back. Let's go and see if what he says is true. Oh crap, he's right. Let's kick it to death. Pen. What the heck? What the heck? I need a weapon. I can keep it back by kicking it. Okay, he was right, there is something in there. So at least we found out that what he said was true. Peeled statue, help me. Creepy. I need a weapon though, so I can kill it. Can we talk to him about that, what we just found? Can we tell him?
Osinculio mio. Osinculio mio.
I ain't talking to me. Alright then, whatever mate. What's up here? Ah, that's locked, okay. What's in this door? Ink jar, ceramic ink jar, okay. Equishears. What's this? Larium. Somewhere to pray. Any notes in here? Ink jar. I don't know, I'm just looking around.
A new face. Arve, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Oh, she's actually quite nice. What's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
Sorry, what should I have done?
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by
God.
which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
Okay. How did you end up here?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
A young woman named Karen dragged me out of a river unconscious and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you?
It carries negative connotations where I'm from.
Why is that?
Because of the memes.
The memes? What are the memes?
A meme is a small image you share with other people. They become a bit like their own language.
So, a bit like Egyptian hieroglyphs then?
Something like that.
So your people make hieroglyphics depicting this accursed character, the one they call Karen. I wonder if... No.
What were you going to say?
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
You're being a bit coy.
I know. I just don't
Why
want
is she
to see
being
what
coy?
happened to Livia happen to you too.
What happened to Livia?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help. But she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the Golden Rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
I'll be careful.
Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
I'll see what I can do. Do you know a way out of here?
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Why not? I have time.
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now, the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately, the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Borsis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic, realizing only a select few possess such powers. Says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Borsis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Or perhaps it's that the gods might kill you at any moment for failing their test, and they don't even have to tell you what the rules are.
A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose.
What's the status of the election?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Who's allowed to vote?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
I vote then.
Well, you're not a citizen yet, so no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Such
by
as?
using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
What's your role in the election?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Can I nominate another candidate?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
Let's talk about something else.
Certainly.
I haven't asked that yet, so we've got to come back to her.
Once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbours.
So we've got another mission, another side quest. I'm going to keep exploring because I've got to do that other mission first. Shrine of Apollo. I can't hear you, what do you want? Note to Octavia. An anonymous friend to Octavia, may the Lord bless and keep you. I am sorry I could not risk discussing this with you in person, but if I am right, then you're a believer like me. You may not be able to worship openly here, but know that you're not alone. If you ever feel like you need somewhere to pray, there's a special place waiting for you deep in the caves beyond the theatre. Turn right at the first fork and again at the second. Okay. Let's see what's upstairs. I'm not going to steal any money. That would be breaking the golden rule. Sculpture of Minerva, the Roman goddess of strategy. So we've got to investigate. I haven't got to go up there yet. Telling me to go in here.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Yulia. She was a good woman.
What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally, I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here, with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Is there something I can do to help?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day, or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututor and scratching his eyes out.
That's dangerous talk.
Then you'd better get me that silphium quickly, hadn't you?
Oh, 'cause she could be the... She could be the person that did it. Modern personal medical tools. Oh, chest is locked. He's the man I have to speak to. Can't move. Who is that? Circular loaf of bread designed to be pulled apart into wedges appears to be freely available to anyone who wants it. A stone mill. It looks like flour and grain are poured in from above and ground between the stones as the hands are rotated. Is there a note in here? What's this say? Ingredients: a generous pinch of yeast, a pinch of salt, 2.5 cups, 1 pound of flour. Instructions: pour the water in a mixer bowl and dissolve the yeast. Add the flour to a separate bowl and gradually add the water and salt. Knead it until the dough isn't so sticky or floury. Cover the dough and leave in a warm place near the oven for an hour so that it rises. Bake till the crust is gone and allowed to cool. Okay. Speak to this guy.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff.
I'll kiss the feast on my person. I wrote this did not get to finish.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Decius. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
I need some silphium resin.
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
How would I come up with 1,000 denarii?
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
This guy's a jerk. You're price gouging over life-saving medicine. What is wrong with you?
Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
I don't think it's him. But he could be one of the causes. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
That whisper?
You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands.
What happened to Navia?
She claimed the statues were whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again. But I digress. Do you want this silphium?
Went to the palace. How about I just take it instead?
Well, if you did that, you'd break the golden rule, and we'd share the same fate as the last lot who lived here. Is that what you want?
Take it and run. Is that what you want? If not, hand them over now.
Do you think I don't know a bluff when I see one?
I need something
Nice
to get
try.
my bluff up. I don't have that kind
Very
of
well.
money.
Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget?
What's your story?
You mean, how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Let's hear it.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave. Fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
You chose the cart, didn't you?
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
So you took her with you after all?
No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a bloody fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Commiserations.
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune, because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
Oh yeah, gotta watch out. Old Dacius has got your back though.
What do you think about the golden rule?
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
Hasn't the magistrate banned weapons?
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, friend.
Who are you going to vote for?
Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
I'd like you to vote for Sentius.
Not going to happen.
Okay, I'll be going now.
Very well. Another time.
So I could steal it and run.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oh God.
Death arrives. It would be a thing to dread.
Oh crap. Everybody's turning to gold. Oh crap. Oh my God, this is crazy. And he sacrificed himself to make another portal. Right, just a minute. Sorry about that. So we've gone back in time. Follow the magistrate back to the shrine. Use his portal again. Done that. So here we go again.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I'm smiling, and we've had this conversation before.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Your name is Galerius, and you're about to offer to take me to Sentius so he can tell me about the Golden Rule.
Oh, Bacchus, how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
No problem, I have to go.
Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
The heck is that? Zipline handlebar, rudimentary wooden zipline handlebar. Oh, cool, thank you.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking.
Thank you.
And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably.
Thanks, I'll be going.
Alright, see you around.
Lucretia, let's see if I can stop her from going mad. Hang on, there's one there, let's do it. Oh, no way. Mad Box, Metrics, Las Vegas. Hellish, Game Child, Mosaic. Oh, this is crazy. We'll stick it to the default, obviously. Hang on, inventory. Zipline. Can I use it? Right, there we go. Works. Let's get to her before she gets crazy and tries to do anything silly. She's in there. So we have to break the rule to go back in time.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been
Dying,
poisoned.
not dead.
She needs the resin of a plant called Sylphium.
I saved her.
But that Culus cumulatus decius won't give it to me.
I have Sylphium resin here. Take
What?
a little.
Quick, give it here. Yulia.
This is how I do it.
You need to swallow this. Here, let me help you.
This is how we'll do it. So I have to break the golden rule to complete to make the game go quicker.
Hopefully in a moment she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
I'm a time traveler.
A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said time traveler.
Yep.
But whatever kind of traveler you are, that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments.
Brilliant.
And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
Store.
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
Okay, why are you working out of a shrine?
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Tell me more about Nevia.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good, too. Until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed, and he's in constant pain.
Who?
I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off, and I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out, and you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, I suppose.
Do you know a way out of here?
I wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here. I'll do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on everything you can imagine.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
A city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit. And what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands.
I can. Hearing the statues whispering, is that normal?
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad.
Oh, that just helped me. Tell me more about Nevia.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good until she suddenly... This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from... She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving... One of my patients is suffering.
Okay. We know about that one. I'll see what I can do. We know about that. I'll be going
That's
now.
a shame.
I can talk to her now, Julia. See who poisoned her.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Can I ask what happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
I want to know how someone poisoned you without breaking the Golden Rule.
The Golden Rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
I have all the time in the world.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
Thinking you'd be out of here before you ever had to pay back the loan.
I'm not proud of it, but yes, I was surprised he agreed to it, to be honest. But I was so happy to have the money I didn't question it. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
What's hemlock?
It's a deadly poison made from a plant. Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes, and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
Surely that would have broken the golden rule.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing. My hemlock.
So you poisoned yourself.
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what'll happen to you now?
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
I'm sorry, can I do anything to help?
I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
I have a better idea. How much would it cost to buy your freedom?
A lot. but it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
Perhaps I can help him too.
I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
I'll get right on it. Can we help him? How will I go? Must be this way. I'm all up the stairs, maybe. There he is, isn't he? How do I stop him? Jump! Oh, he's gonna jump before I get to him.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
Oh god. Actually, I really need to talk to you.
All right,
Yes.
well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
No.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
Don't you
That's
dare.
the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life, working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please, please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. But I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
Alright, do you think you should open the rule? Alright, I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire.
I'm just going to ask you what's wrong.
I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that Culus Cumulatis Malleolus for the rest of my life. I'm out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love, I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
Okay.
I can't believe he went through with it. Oh Lord. That poor lamb.
His suicide didn't break the golden rule. What does that mean?
Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine.
Okay. Is that my fault?
That was not your fault. There's no way you could have given him what he wanted, moments after you arrived.
What happens now?
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And I'd best pray for poor Ulpius.
So I've got to break one of the rules. Jump. Me.
Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your... Thank you. I'm delighted and deeply honored to be elected your majesty. And now... and now, I'm...
Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above? That was either extremely reckless or impressively clever. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me?
What's your story?
I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
What will you do if you win?
I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny.
How will you do that?
By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule.
Oh,
it's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie?
The Golden Rule is definitely real.
Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
Even if I can't prove it, if I'm right, then accepting it will avert disaster. If I'm wrong, then accepting it will make the city a better place. Isn't that a good thing?
I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish.
It's a nutter. I'm reliving the same day over and over again. The Golden Rule is broken through time.
Oh, I see what's happening here.
Yeah, I knew that.
Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius's machinations. He won't get away with this much longer.
What will it take to prove to you it's real? Books? No?
Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read. As if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down.
I can see nothing is going to convince you.
True, but that is simply because you are mistaken.
Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
You mean the children's fable exploited by Sentius to scare us all into doing what he wants?
I'll be going now.
I trust you can see yourself out. Through the door this time. There's a key just beside it.
I'm going to take the key and then I'm going to keep the key. Take the key. Can I steal something? Like money. Reset the balance. Not from Ulpius. Ulpius to his lost love, may God watch over you. Please know that I held on as long as I could, but without you my life is meaningless. I only hope we meet again in Gangarden. Julia to her captors Melius and Claudia, curse you to the depths. By the time you read this, I'm already be dead, because death is preferable to another day in debt bondage to you. May vultures peck out your lives in Tartarus for all eternity. Oh dear.
A day of celebration, I announce.
I'm going to steal off him.
A day of celebration.
Then I'll get money and it'll reset everything money. Sorry, Miss Morehouse, I tried. Oh no. She's trying to stop it. That door's locked. I can't get in that door.
Still here?
Shut up. I don't like that man. I'll find something to steal.
cheeky little Sturkus. If I cop an earful from Malleolus, I'll be coming for you.
What a steal. Actually, if I steal some money off this guy.
Citizen, we're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I'm Smiling. We've had this conversation before.
Yeah? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the Golden Rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here?
Yep.
I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, I assume we failed, and you had to start over. Is that about right? If so, what happened?
I broke it.
You broke it? Why in Pluto's name would you do that?
I was trying to save someone's life.
It seems you failed spectacularly. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered, and do better next time.
I'm about to break it again.
I assume you've sought me out again for a reason.
I'll get back to it.
Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
Yeah, I'm going to break the rule again. Funny enough. Actually, I can speak to her now. There she is. She shouldn't be angry with us now, should I?
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
Oh,
I
can't
trust
really
you
say
can
anything
see
else.
yourself out.
Yeah, I can't really say anything different, can I, at the moment? So what I'm going to do is pinch some money.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Follow him quick. Yep, I've got to do this. Just so I can stop that man from committing suicide as well. So we've got to save both of them, haven't we? This is mad. There we go. So this is how the game works. Basically, you have to keep on resetting time just to get to the next step. I'm really intrigued with this game. It's so cool. I think I am going to finish this one here though. What have we got here? Okay, common bread. Other suspects, leads. Tying a bow. Okay. Right, I am actually going to finish this stream here. I'm actually going to stream again in a couple of hours. It's either going to be Mass Effect or this game. We're going to do Skyrim on Monday. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this much. I'm really intrigued to see how this game's going to go. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Take care.